Okay. So just a quick disclaimer to read out. If you have any bodily injury or any pre-existing medical condition, then please feel free to either consult your doctor or review it, because we'll be doing a lot of pranayam and breathing exercises that put a lot of pressure on your heart and your basically the abdomen part. So take your own call, and then if you feel uncomfortable, then abruptly right away stop the practice. And in between the sessions, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, and then ask the questions. If I'm able to answer, then I'll definitely try to answer it. Okay, we'll get started. We'll start with the 3 Omkara. So hands hands in the chin mudra. Chin mudra is again the tip of the index finger and the tip of the thumb. Both are joined together. It's not the end, but it's the bulb of the thumb and the bulb of the index finger. Let's keep it in a comfortable Sukhasana pose in chin mudra. If you hold it for a few seconds, you should feel the heat generated at the tip of them. That's where the energy points are. That's the junction of energy point. Let's take 3 deep breaths. And then as you exhale, chant Om. Om is a combination of O and Ma. So we'll keep saying U and Ma. So focus yourself, focus your mind on the air going in and air coming out. Take a deep breath in. Yeah, I'm trying to let everyone. So the way we'll plan out today's exercise series is, we'll start with warm up. We'll start with a light neck rotation and shoulder rotation. We'll as a part of warm up itself, we'll do Surya Namaskar, and then after the Surya Namaskar, we'll come down to a couple of twisting asana poses, and then we'll go to the pranayama and other breathing practices, so that the body is more comfortable. Okay, so sitting in the straight posture, keep your back straight, hands in a comfortable posture. we'll do the neck rotations. But when we do the neck rotation, let us make sure we touch the ears to the shoulder. And then chin to the chest, and then all the way down. So let's do small circles, big circles, 3 circles on each side. So the way we'll add the breathing practice in it is, as you raise your neck up, inhale, and as you bring it down, exhale. So let's do 3 cycles of inhale, exhale in one direction, and reverse the same. So let's keep it slow. Let's go slow inhale and slow exhale. Starting as a reference point, we'll start with the chin down. Feel the stretch all over. Opposite. Let's do some exercises for the eyes and the facial muscles. So the way we'll do, we'll quickly do the exercises for the eyes. We'll not go into the details of eye exercises, but the way we'll do is keep your back straight and keep your neck straight. Don't rotate your neck. At the same time, look at all the direction, make circles with your eyes. Make big circles. Make bigger circles. Keep the neck straight. After you're done with 3 rounds, change the direction. The neck is not rotating. It's only the eyes that's moving up and down. The next asana that we'll do is, we'll sit here and hold your hands on the shoulder, and let's make big circles so that your shoulder muscles get stretched. Wide chest, and then inhale as you bring your hand up, exhale as you bring it down. 2 times. Stop there. Inhale. We'll continue with our stretching and exercises. So we'll do the Ardha Kati Chakrasana in the sitting posture. We'll try to do all of them in the sitting posture except Surya Namaskar, where we'll eventually have to stand up. So let's start with our right side. Take your right hand, put it on the ground. Make sure your body is not bent forward. It is straight. So only the sides stretch. And in this posture, try to make sure you're seated on both the hips. So don't raise your hips up. Keep the hips down. Raise your hands up. Get a stretch. Get a good stretch. touch your ears to the shoulders. Slowly bring it back. Feel the body getting stretched on one side and not that stretched on the other side. Let's do the stretching on the other side also. The hands down, left hand down. Get the stretch. We'll do the twisting part. We'll do the sitting twisting itself. These are all body stretching since we're doing it in the morning time. And then we'll continue with Surya Namaskar. So try and stretch. Ideally, take your right hand, put it exactly behind the center of your back, and then press. Press and stretch. Other side. Get the stretch. We'll continue with, we'll stand up and do the Surya Namaskar. And when we are done with the Surya Namaskar, we'll continue with our breathing practices. So to start with the breathing practices, we will start with a Kriya called Navali Kriya. Since we are already in a standing position, we'll do the Navali Kriya after Surya Namaskar. Stand towards the end of the yoga mat. Your toes on the end of the yoga mat. Again, there are multiple versions or forms of Surya Namaskar. We'll pick one usually accepted form, which contains a list of, I think, 12 asana. Toes together, hands in the pranam posture. Take a deep breath in, and we'll chant the mantra also. And we'll chant the Om Mitraya Namaha, and then raise our hands up. Om Mitraya Namaha. Raise your hands up. Keep your ears touching the shoulders, and then raise it back. Bring it forward. Get the stretch, and then put the hands on the feet. Slowly move your left leg behind. The your hands are still on the tip of the yoga mat. The knees are not touching the ground. Knees are little raised in the sky, in the high, and then looking up. Get the stretch. Try and get your body straight. Take your leg back. That's the Dandasana. Body straight. It is neither going down nor up. It is straight. Next, I will go to Shashakasana. Toes together. Completely seated. Slowly exhale. And then we'll do Ashtanga Namaskar. So the toes touch the ground, the knees touch the ground, and then the chest forehead, and the two hands. Make sure your stomach doesn't touch the ground. Toes together. Get the stretch. And then Parvatasana. Get your left leg forward. Right leg forward. Back in pranam position. So this is one round of Surya Namaskar. We'll go to the second round of Surya Namaskar. We'll go with the second round of Surya Namaskar. This time we'll focus on the breathing. Now we focused on how to do the physical asana. We'll now focus on the breathing part of it. And the third round, we will try to master it. So again, a quick check is if you're standing with your toes at the edge of your yoga mat, that's why I've requested everyone to stand at the edge of the yoga mat. The check is after you're done with all the asanas, when you come back up, you still should be end of the yoga mat. If you have gone behind in the yoga mat, it means that you have not done one of the asanas or few of the asanas correctly. But instead, if you have gone beyond the yoga mat, it means that you have overdone one of the asanas or few of the asanas. So that's a quick check to see if you're doing it correctly. Because Surya Namaskar is all about the position. If you're able to do it correctly, then you don't move from place. Archit, can you admit? Okay, I'll turn the mute on. So hands again in prayer position. We'll do the mantra and breathe in and raise up. So the stretch is on the back as well as on the hips as well as the back. Breathe in. Om Ravaye Namaha. And then slowly breathe in again. Get the stretch. Get your stretch. Keep the body straight. Get the stretch. And then push your hips forward and then get the back behind. Make sure your ears are always touching the shoulder. Next, slowly as you breathe out, keep the back straight. The back is still not bent. Keep the back straight. Push your hands forward. Get that stretch, that horizontal stretch. And then slowly come down. Hands touching the feet. Knees are straight. If your hands don't go all the way down to the feet, keep them here, but keep the back straight. Keep the knees straight. This is completely okay. This is better. This is the best way. But listen to your body. Don't overkill yourself. As a next step, this is all in the you breathe out, and to survive, you're doing a shallow breathing. Hands next to your feet. Now we'll take the right leg behind. Get the stretch. Knees again not touching the ground. And going back. Hold the position. Don't go down. Neither up. Hold it straight. Next, Shashakasana. The hands are still on the edge of the yoga mat. And go down. Come forward. Ashtanga Namaskar, the next one, where you hold the breath. When the way we do the breath is try to keep the breath inside or outside. It's one of the Kumbhaka poses. So the toes together again, toes touching, knees, chest, and then the forehead. Breath is held, there is no breathing. If you want to do advanced asana in this, try to raise your hip up. Slowly come up in Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Get the stretch. If you want to do it in an advanced way, for those of you who are comfortable with this, raise your knees up. And then go into the Parvatasana. Advanced form in this is push your hip behind. Push your hip behind if you want to do in an advanced way. Next, come back forward. Again, get the stretch. Down, up. If you are able to come back at the same posture, same position, without moving back and forth, it means that you have done it correctly. So we'll do the third round of Surya Namaskar. We'll do it a little faster. We'll not go very slow. We'll do, but this time we'll take the name of the asanas that we are doing, and at the same time, be conscious of your breathing pattern. So hands again in the pranam posture. Try and stay at the tip. It's a self check. Om Suryaya Namaha. Inhale. Utthita Padasana. Exhale. Padahastasana. Third, left leg goes behind. Ashwasanchalanasana. Riding a horse. Knees in the air. You look like a stick, so it's called Dandasana. Shashakasana or Balasana. Next, Ashtanga Namaskar. You hold your breath here. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, or it's also called Bhujangasana. Different books, different school of thoughts. Adho Mukha Svanasana, can you allow? Adho Mukha Svanasana or Parvatasana. Next, bring your left leg forward again. Looking up. Get the stretch. Ashwasanchalanasana. Padahastasana. Namaskarasana. So this is complete set of Surya Namaskar. We'll now do the last round of, last set of Surya Namaskar a little faster and then go down. Surya Namaskar is one exercise which is, it can be used as a warm-up exercise as well as a main activity exercise where you can burn your body fat. It is also, if done a little slowly, it can be a cooling down exercise. So that's why Surya Namaskar is so famous, because it's a complete exercise. So the complementary of Surya Namaskar is Chandra Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is all about forward and backward bending. Chandra Namaskar is all about lateral bending. So typically the way it is done is Surya Namaskar is done at the morning time so that it fires up the body. Chandra Namaskar on the other side, it still stretches the body, but it cools you down. So that's why it's called Isha Namaskar or Chandra Namaskar, done as a part of when the Chandra is there. So we'll do the last Surya Namaskar. Body straight. Keep the body as straight as possible, consciously straight. Hands in pranam. Breath in. We'll do the mantra. Om Bhanave Namaha. Take a breath in. Raise it up. Padha Hastasana. Get the stretch. Keep the back straight. If possible, go down. Otherwise, station your hand wherever possible, comfortable. Go down. Padha Hastasana. Take your right leg behind. Ashwasanchalanasana. You're still breathing in while you go into this pose. Knees in the air. Dandasana. Breathe out. Shantasana. Ashtanga Namaskar. It's a Kumbhaka state where you don't breathe. Pull the hips up if you want to get the stretch. Bhujangasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Knees up if you want to get the stretch. Parvatasana or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Get the right leg forward. Evaluate where you're standing. If you're standing on the edge of the yoga mat or you move a bit forward and backward. Padahastasana. Namaskarasana. So this is a set of Surya Namaskar. So this is done usually in a round of set of 13. One set is 13 asanas, but right now we have done only 4. We'll continue with next thing is Nauli Kriya. Nauli Kriya is bend down and then exhale and then flap your tummy. So when you flap your tummy, if everyone can be on mute, then it will help. So flap your tummy, bend down. Archit, can you scoot? Completely exhale. This is again in a Kumbhaka state. Exhale and then flap your tummy. Take your tummy and the lower abdomen in. Get as much, push it as much inside, and then push it out. So there is no breathing involved. So it is Nauli Kriya. It basically puts a lot of pressure on your gut or digestive system. So it helps you clear. In Ayurvedic language, it's called as Pitta and Vata. So it helps you clear that, it burn that, and it's good for your abdominal core also. So doing it vigorously helps you make it better. So let's exhale, and if you're feeling uncomfortable, then you can stop it. Keep the knees a bit bent, don't keep them straight. When you exhale, push it and pull it, flap it. Try to do the maximum flapping. Again, let's try it again. Exhale and then flap it. Till here, are we going good, or how is the pace? Do you want me to change the pace, or is it? Are you all comfortable with it? I just wanted to get a quick pulse of how things are going.
Oh, it's good, Pratap. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
It's perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to the. I think we are halfway. So let's continue with our breathing practices. So the way we will do our breathing practices today is we'll start with heavy firing Kapalbhati, and then we'll do it very slow, and then we'll also go with one type of cooling pranayama, which will cool your body down, and then we'll go with Bhastrika, which will again fire your body up, and then we will go with the Anulom Vilom variations in Anulom Vilom. There are about 7 to 8 total combinations, but we will do about 4 of them. In between, also we'll also bring the bandha, the factor of bandha when we are doing the Anulom Vilom pranayam. But to start with, we'll go with Kapalbhati. The reason why we did all this Surya Namaskar and a little of stretching is pranayam is the advanced stage where your body it needs to be more comfortable. So that's why we stretched a bit so that we are comfortable. Now we'll go to the Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati means it is a shining on the face. It brings a shine on the face. Kapala is the face, forehead or the face, and then there's a shining. How does it come? Is by forceful breathing. So the way it goes is take a sit up and take a breath in, and then take a breath in, and your tummy gets bloated, and then forcefully exhale. So Kapalbhati is all about exhaling. So take a fast breath in, and then you'll feel, hold your hand on your tummy so that you'll feel the tummy getting expanded. You'll feel that your tummy has gone down. So the way you put the pressure on it is, it's not, the pressure doesn't come from the stomach. The pressure comes from way beneath the stomach. It's beneath the belly button. From bottom of the belly button, take an upward thrust and then press the air out. So that's where your, the guts get energized. So take a fast breath in with your hands on the stomach and let it expand. Once the stomach is expanded, try and get the upward thrust from your groin region and then push the air out. The stomach has to go in. So this movement of hands back and forth is what is a quick check. So I'll again do it one more time in a slow way. But again, anytime here, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So the breathing is always through the nose. And now we'll go to the Kapalbhati, doing it in a faster pace. So usually Kapalbhati is not done with any mudra, because Kapalbhati is not an asana. So usually asanas are done with the mudra. Since Kapalbhati is not an asana, it's not done with the mudra, but there is no harm in taking any mudra also. So we'll do quick 20 strokes of Kapalbhati. Again, there are multiple variations in it. But this is the Ida Kapalbhati, the Pingala Kapalbhati, or then it's a regular Kapalbhati. So what it does is, if you close your left nostril and breathe through your right nostril, it brings a lot of fire in you. And at the same time, if you do it the other way around, it cools you down. But Kapalbhati by itself is not. It's all about energizing your body. So let's try about 5 times with either of the nostrils closed. Let's start with left nostril closed, and then one hand on the left hand on the tummy. Feel it, and then let's breathe in and breathe out. Quick breathe in, fast breathe out. Change. Feel that heaviness. Feel that peace that you get after doing Kapalbhati. It's one of the best fat burning exercises. You can burn a lot of body fat by doing Kapalbhati. It is told that if you do it for 80 times to 100 times in a stretch with a 20, combination of 20, your heart rate goes up. Your body gets completely fired up. So there's a lot of energy that's being spent. So Kapalbhati, that's why it's one of the fat burning exercises. Not only the belly fat, but the entire body gets worked out. So let's do 20 more strokes of Kapalbhati. We'll take a pause for a couple of seconds and then feel the breathing. We'll do one more round of Kapalbhati and then go to the Shithali Pranayama. Hands again, if possible, on the tummy, otherwise wherever comfortable. The state of breathlessness that you get, where you don't need to breathe and you don't breathe after doing any of these heavy breathing exercises. Ideally, it is, the word for it is Keval Kumbhakam. That it means it's a natural Kumbhakam that has come in your body because of, high amount of breathing. So the effect of the aim of all of these breathing practices, be it Kapalbhati or Anulom Vilom, is slowing down your breathing. So Kapalbhati, the way it slows down is for the time you're doing the Kapalbhati, even though you're breathing very fast, but if you take an interval of about 5 to 10 minutes after Kapalbhati, your breathing will slow down. So slowing down your breathing is all about, the yoga is all about bringing your slowness in your breath. That slows your breath down, slows your blood pressure, slows your heart rate, and slows your mind activity. So everything slows down and everything comes under control. So we'll continue with our Shithali Pranayam. There are 3 variations in Shithali. So since it's all July 4th, the peak of the summer, the first one is roll your tongue vertically and then take a deep breath in through the mouth and then exhale through the nose. Exhale by mouth. We'll do it one more time. Next is roll it horizontally and then inhale by mouth. Slow exhale is what you need. Next is Sadanti, teeth together. Sadanti. Sa is together, Danti is the teeth. Teeth together. Inhale by mouth, exhale by mouth, nose. Again, 2 times. Last time. These are called Shitali Pranayam, not because they cool your entire body down. They give you that instant feel of coldness or cooling, but they don't actually, cool your body down. They generate more heat because you're using your mouth as against using your nose for breathing. But while you're doing this, breathing exercise, you feel cooled down. So it's a nice feeling to have that cooling exercise, but it doesn't really cool your body temperature down. So we'll continue with Bhastrika today. So Bhastrika is forceful inhale, forceful exhale. Again, it's translating Bhastrika to from Sanskrit or to English. It is when you're doing when you're cooking the uh, roti in tandoor. You'll when you blow the air through your the pipe, you'll hear that sound. It's kind of a echoing sound. So that sound is created using your tummy. So that is called kapal bhati. So you feel sorry, not kapal bhati, bhastrika. So that's the sound that you create using your flapping your tummy in and out. And then next is so the way we do it is take a deep breath in. Again, when you breathe in, your stomach expands, and then you breathe out. So we'll do it again 20 times. So when you do it faster, it's more easier. So we'll do 20 strokes of Bhastrika.
Yeah, Joshi, could you please explain one more time this step?
Bhastrika? Yeah, sure. Let me explain that. Let me do that. Okay. So Bhastrika, basically feel the tummy. Okay. So difference, I'll tell you what is the difference between Bhastrika and Kapalbhati. That way it will be more easy. So Kapalbhati is the focus is on exhale. It's forcefully exhaling. So you're It's more of Udana Prana. You know, in the more yoga words, it's called Udana Prana. So it's throwing out. Kapalbhati is in and out, in and out. So the way we do is hold the hand, take a fast breath in. When you take a fast breath in, your tummy blots out, and then from the bottom of your belly button, throw it out. Create a pressure from the core of your abdomen, and then throw the air out. So that's your uh, that's part of there is a part called that second part is the Kapalbhati. The first one is the combination of inhale and exhale becomes Bhastrika. So are we good, or we'll do it about 10 more strokes? But I just wanted to check if the explanation was good enough.
It's clear. Thank you.
Sorry. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's clear.
So we'll do 10 more strokes. So we'll do the last. Am I audible? If
Yes.
someone can.
Yes, you're
Okay.
audible.
Okay, thank you. I think that's better. In between, the voice was probably not audible. So we'll continue with the last part. We have about 10 more minutes. So we'll continue with the last part of Anulom Vilom, and then we'll mix the Bandha. So we'll talk about Bandha first, and then we'll go with the, we'll do that as a part of Anulom Vilom. We'll do the Anulom Vilom Pranayam in it. So Bandha are basically locks. So if you think about your body as a digestive system as one vertical thread, so there are three locks. One lock is from the bottom, one is from the middle, and one is from the top. So what you're doing is, when there is no air in this digestive tract, you're trying to put locks from multiple sides. You're trying to put a lower block, middle block, and upper block, so that your body gets your basically the digestive gut gets exercised. And there are various advantages of this block or bandha. Moola bandha, which is done from the bottom, helps you with your lot of kidney related or your digestive related problems. Udyan bandha is more of building your core abdominal strength, and Jalandhar bandha puts a lot of pressure on your brain and heart. So that helps you. It effectively eventually helps you calm down. So we'll understand the bandha. We'll do all the three bandhas, and then we'll do one round of Anulom Vilom with the bandha. And when we do the Anulom Vilom, we'll do a Ujjayi Anulom Vilom. So we'll understand all of those concepts. So Moola bandha is, all the three bandhas are done in a completely exhaled state where there's no air inside your body. So clear your air out, completely breathing, breathe out, and then from the bottom, create a upward thrust. So how do we do it is, from your anal part, take an upward thrust. So from the bottom, you're getting an upward thrust and then pushing it up. So let's do it for however amount of seconds. If you can do it for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, it's more than good. But exhale first, mouth closed. If there is a residual air in your mouth, throw it out. And then try to get the thrust from the bottom. usually this bandha can be done in any posture. So Sukhasana or Padmasana or Vajrasana. But today the focus is not on the asana; it's on pranayam. So we'll do in Sukhasana itself. We'll do one more Mula Bandha. Exhale. Next is Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha is uh, pressing the region of your body beneath your belly button and above your groin. So that region is where your the core of the body is. So you put a lot of pressure there and take it in. So eventually, what will happen is your belly also gets pushed in. So your intestine gets that pressure because of the energy or pressure that is generated from the lower part of your digestive system. Your intestine also gets pulled in. So it helps you clear the undigested food. And especially combination of Mula Bandha and this Uddiyana Bandha is done in cases for patients who have extreme digestive issues or who have kidney issues. So it is people where dialysis itself is not working. A combination of these bandhas have worked, and then they go into the dialysis mode. So this is one of the very good cures, but it has to be done in a supervised way. So let's try to do the Uddiyana Bandha alone. We will not do the Mula Bandha now. So exhale out. And then pull your generate a pull from the lower part of your abdomen, and your tummy also goes in. Relax. One more time. So if you keep it doing it daily, your digestive system is clear. So you don't get most of the diseases that we typically get. So the last bandha that we'll focus on is Jalandhar Bandha. It is the typical way of doing is chin to the chest. It's not chest actually; it is the join of your collarbones. So it is this. So exhale again. Clear the air from the mouth and put your chin. Back up. So we'll do the last bandha. It's called Mahabandha. Mahabandha is all the three together. So pressure from the bottom, push your abdomen in, and then touch the chin to the your neck region. So we'll do that. Exhale again. So we have 5 more minutes. We'll go with Anulom Vilom Pranayam. And then we'll put the bandha in it. So the way we do the bandha is uh, uh, when you completely exhale, then put the bandha in. But given the Mool Bandha is always there, the Mool Bandha is the bottom pull-up is always there. So irrespective of whether you're breathing in or breathing out, you always be in the Mool Bandha. And then the Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhar Bandha it's a very complex combination, which one you put. So for now, what we'll do is, these bandha can be put while you're breathing in, or breathing out also. But for now, we'll put those bandhas, these two bandhas, only when you're breathed out. So it's an alternate nostril breathe in and breathe out. And when you breathe in and breathe out, keep the focus on the air. Feel the air going in all the way down. And then when you breathe out, feel it going all the way out. But make sure you have the Mula Bandha If you, for some time, if you don't have Mula Bandha, it is perfectly okay if it's feeling uncomfortable. But when you exhale completely, try to get the Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhar Bandha also for about couple of times. So we'll do this for 5 breathings. So this is the Pranayama Mudra. The 2 fingers out and the thumb out. So the 2 fingers close the left and the right. So there's the, there are schools where say put your hand down or put your hand up. Either way is fine as long as we are doing the locks. Hand in Chin Mudra. Take a deep breath in. Mula Bandha. Pull it up. Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhar Bandha. Release. Breathe in. Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhar Bandha. In the breathe out. If you're done with 5, you can stop. If you're done with 5, let's lay down and do the Shavasana. So again, Shavasana, there are rules governing how to do the Shavasana. We'll talk about them. Lay down. So feet is kept, usually the way the feet is kept is, take a distance, keep this and then take out. So toes together first and then spread the toes out. So that is how the feet is kept. And hands, one palm apart and then lie down. Neck is not straight, it is bent. It's not completely bent, but tilted. Tilted to a direction where you feel it stable. Feel the body. Silence also has a sound. So while you're being silent, hear the sound. Listening to the nature. Man is an animal and we're a part of nature. Bring your consciousness inside your body. The air is going in. Getting purified, and impure air is slowly going out. Because we've done a lot of breathing exercises, The pace of breathing has slowed down. Focus on the breath while you relax your feet, calf muscles, knees, and thighs. Your hip muscles are getting relaxed. Still are focusing on your breath. Your shoulders, your arms, your wrist are completely relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Finally, your mind is also feeling relaxed. Focus on the breath, slow breathings. Completely relaxed. Drawing your consciousness back. Slowly move your feet. Wiggle your fingers. Rotate your neck a bit. Raise yourself to the side. Whenever comfortable, keep your eyes closed. Sit up in the prayer posture. We'll chant Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, which is a Shanti mantra together. Deep breath in. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Go down. Bend. Come back to it. Palm your face. Thank you. Have a happy Independence Day to everyone.
Excellent
Thank
one again. Thank you. Good job.
And thanks to KSA for this event. This was a great thing to celebrate Independence Day. Thanks again to KSA.
Thanks, Pratap.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haji.
Namaste, Prabhuji.
Want to
Dhanyawada.
join, thank you. Anyone of you wants to join the daily yoga classes, definitely let me know. And I think most of you are already there. But if any of you wants to start joining, let me know. I'll add you to the group. But again, thank you to KSA for this unique way of celebrating Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhat ji.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Prabhat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhatji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
కొంచెం డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉన్నా అందుకే ఆడియో